challenge. There, the Secretary of State is expected to rule on whether or not to disqualify Trump from Maine's state ballot. Joining me now to discuss this insanity from McLaughlin and Associates pollster Jim McLaughlin, also here host of the Brink from the Daily Caller, Brianna Lyman. Good to see you both. Brianna, I'll start with you. Look, it seems to me that Democrats, they say one thing, they do another thing. They say they're against gerrymandering, then here comes New York State when they think they can win some congressional seats. They try to gerrymander the Republican Party out of existence. They say Trump is a threat to democracy, and then they try to confront that threat to democracy by undermining all of the pillars of our democracy and undermining the stability of our republic. How do we actually get more Americans to realize these Democrats are not the Democrats of your forefathers?
That's a great question. You know, what happened today is a small win for Donald Trump, but it is still a very long road ahead. And I think a lot of people, when we talk about the 14th Amendment and Donald Trump, we talk about it in the context of the Civil War, which is great. We should be, right? But we should also talk about it about the debates that they were having. And one such debate was in 1866, Senator Cohen. He said that he was opposed specifically to Section 3 because, and I quote, he was against the infliction of punishment of any kind upon anybody unless by fair trial. Donald Trump has not been charged. He has not been convicted as, according to Congress, as of 1948, under 18 U.S. Code 2383. So therefore, he is still eligible to be president, according to Congress. And this is the exact fear that Senator Cohen expressed in 1866, and it's the exact reality we're facing now. So it's up to the Supreme Court to unanimously reject this Colorado ruling and reaffirm that, no, this is not a self-executing provision, right? Section 5 of the 14th Amendment says it's up to Congress, and Section 3 itself, okay? Justice Chase once said, this is not a self-executing amendment because Congress is the only body that has the authority to remove the disabilities, and therefore Congress can enforce those disabilities.
Well, Jim, I'll come to you because while Democrats are working feverishly trying to win this election in courtrooms, the tail of the tape at the ballot box seems to suggest that they have much to be worried about. You have the Rasmussen poll saying that President Trump, among his fellow cohorts on the Republican side of the aisle, at 51% to Nikki Haley having 13%, DeSantis had 9%, Christie at 9%, Ramaswamy at 1%. You look at the Iowa GOP primary polling, Trump at 44.9%, Haley at 17.3%, DeSantis at 14.6%. The list goes on, but by every stretch of the imagination, and I would have said this probably a month ago, this primary is over. President Trump is going to be the standard bearer. We keep spending money. We pour gasoline on piles of cash to try to make a point that's already been made by many of Republican voters. How do we drill that point home by anything other than just waiting for Iowa and New Hampshire to come so that we can get on to the business of getting Joe Biden out of the White House?
Yeah, we've got to end this quickly, Joe, because you're right. We're wasting time, money, and resources on this primary. And I'll tell you, the establishment and the rhinos, they are spending tens of millions of dollars to help Nikki Haley against Donald Trump right now. And it's money being literally lit on fire. You know, their fair-haired boy in the beginning was Ron DeSantis, and then, you know, Ron DeSantis has clearly fizzled out. There's surveys where he's running as badly as 5th right now in New Hampshire. And look, what you're seeing right now is the reason why you have the establishment plus the Democrats ganging up on Donald Trump. It's because Donald Trump is winning. He's winning overwhelmingly in the primary, and he's beating Joe Biden in the average of the national polls by over 3 points right now. So he's scared the swamp. The swamp is trying to do everything they can to put him out of power. And the Democrats love to talk about threats to democracy, but the truth is they're the real threats to democracy, and that's why they're using the courtrooms to try to get Donald Trump off the ballot. And as you said, it's insanity.
You know, Brianna, to that point, at the end, if Republicans were half as good as pushing back against the Democrats as we were with eating our own young, I don't think we'd lose a single election. And so if we look at the issue profile before us right now, you have an economy that is not working. I've got Democrats trying to lecture us on macroeconomics after they spent my entire life telling us that GDP was not a measure of the health of a nation. I've got Democrats telling us that the border is secure when we've got more gotaways coming across every single month than the population of places like my hometown of Yonkers, New York, or places like Tallahassee, Florida. So in many ways, everything they tell us is not just a mirage, it's an outright lie. From your perspective, how do we get more Republicans, not just those running for president, but up and down the ballot, to focus on the actual issues that Americans are feeling every single day?
Well, the Republican Party, specifically the RNC, they don't do a great job when you compare to how the Democrats' efforts go for getting boots on the ground, right? Because if you notice, if you look back to Donald Trump's record, during the primary elections, his endorsements did very well, right? He helped people win primaries. The general election, we didn't see that same kind of momentum. And I think part of the reason is it takes two different types of skills to win a primary, to win a general. And the Republican Party does not have what it takes to win a general because they're not willing to put boots on the ground the way Democrats are for mail-in voting, for absentee ballots. And until Republicans can do that, we could have the best winning message. Unless we have the resources, it won't work.
Absolutely. About 20 seconds to you, Jim, here. What's the one thing President Trump has to do, not just to win this primary, but also to make sure that we make Joe Biden a one-term president?
Focus on the issues that voters care about most, and he's doing a great job at that. That's why he's surging in the polls in the primary and the general election. Stay focused. The Democrats want to talk about courtrooms. Republicans want to talk about issues, things like the economy, immigration, crime and safety, and national security. It's a winning message. All the issues that the voters care about most, Donald Trump has significant advantages over Joe Biden right now.
Absolutely. Going to have to leave it there. Brianna Lyman, Jim McLaughlin, great to see you both. God bless. And if I don't see you, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year,
Joe.
All right, up next, a dangerous invasion at the southern border, while one GOP congressman says it's just a little, too late when it comes to the Biden administration's efforts to, quote unquote, secure the border. Keep it locked here on Newsmax. We'll be right back.
We are often falsely taught that nutrition is complicated and we need to take 20 different vitamins a day to stay healthy. It's not complicated. Mother Nature has done the hard part for us. All we have to do is get it into our body. We all need good nutrition and we all need a healthy source of fiber. Less than 5% of Americans are getting enough fiber. Balance of Nature makes it easy. Balance of Nature's Fiber and Spice is made from whole ingredients, just like the fruits and veggies, and is formulated to the same high standard. Simply put, it's the best fiber product on the market. I wouldn't take anything else. Together, fruits and veggies with fiber and spice make the whole health system. When you get enough fiber and enough nutrition through whole spices and whole fruits,